Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into my official Week 14 Conference Championship score predictions, where I predict the score of every game happening in this upcoming week. It is championship weekend. Let's get right into it. We've got Western Kentucky taking on UTSA in Conference USA's championship. That game being played on Friday night at 7 o'clock, the first conference championship to kick off the weekend. I do have Western Kentucky and that very high-powered offense really taking it to UTSA. You know, UTSA, that game this past weekend, you go into the game, you're 11-0, you're about 11-point favorites over North Texas, and you get your teeth kicked in. I mean, that's basically what happened. Western Kentucky, this crazy high-powered offense trending up right now. They're scoring like crazy. UTSA is trending down. Western Kentucky, I believe, 1-point favorites in this game. Bailey Zappi, the quarterback for Western Kentucky, over 50 touchdown passes, I believe, on the year, number one in FBS. Give me Western Kentucky, the 8-4 team, beating the 11-1 UTSA. That game is a neutral site game on Friday night. We also have another Friday game. It is the Pac-12 Championship. This is also a neutral site game. It is Oregon taking on Utah. Not exactly sure what's going on with the Pac-12 that causes these two teams to play each other twice within the span of like 3 or 4 weeks. Something needs to be changed. This should not be happening. But I do have it happening. I do have it happening. I've been in on this Utah team since before the season started. Even when they lost the 3 games early, they started like 3-3, whatever. I said, this is still a good football team. They've trended up. They crushed they crushed Oregon at home a few weeks ago. We all know that game that knocked Oregon out of the college football playoff race. I think they get it done. Closer, low-scoring game. I love the under in this one. Oregon's offense, they came back. They rebounded nicely against Oregon State, getting that win. Good rivalry win there with the Civil War. Really wasn't a competitive game, and Oregon State's a decent team with a good offense. Oregon does have a really good defense, but that offense with Anthony Brown is going to limit them. Give me Utah, a good old-fashioned Pac-12 matchup here, lower scoring, 24-21, field goal type game. We move on to the Saturday games. It is the noon window, and it is the Big 12 championship game being played at a neutral site, Jerry World. That's the Dallas Cowboys Dome Stadium there in Arlington, Texas. It is Baylor taking on Oklahoma State, and I've got another lower scoring game. This one probably not as surprising. Both of these teams good on defense, not great on offense. Baylor dealing with a quarterback injury. I do have Oklahoma State winning this one. Kind of a weirder score, 25-21. Lower scoring, Baylor will cover. Baylor's open to this as a 6.5-point underdog. It's trended all the way down to 5. Baylor is covering this game. Oklahoma State, though, is winning. They're breaking through and getting a Big 12 championship under their belts. They win Bedlam. Good game. Surprise kind of Oklahoma State. Bad on defense in the first half, but really shut Oklahoma down. And, in the second half with a very good performance at home in Bedlam. They get the job done here. Baylor had a really good year and has a really underrated defense, but Oklahoma State gets this done. They're focused coming off of Bedlam. They're ready. Oklahoma State, not the greatest offense, but really good defense. They get it done 25-21. Another noon matchup. This is being played at the Detroit Lions home stadium, Ford Field, so it's neutral site. It is Kent State and then Northern Illinois. Kent State is only 7-5. Northern Illinois is 8-4 and has like a negative point differential. It's a hilarious MAC matchup that should be really high scoring. I've got Kent State winning this one in a shootout. 44-41. We've seen all of these MAC games. There's so many shootouts between these teams. I've got Kent State. They're trending up right now. They might only be 7-5. They're playing better lately. Very high octane offenses, both of these teams. The over-under's like 72 or 73, but I do have Kent State beating a Northern Illinois team who struggled recently. They've had a few bad games. I just think this is Kent's year in the MAC. A really average MAC. No real bad, maybe Akron, but no horrible teams and also no real good teams. Just a very average year, and that creates this weird 7-5 matchup versus 8-4. Give me Kent State higher scoring. We know how the MAC is this year with a bunch of offense, 44-41. Moving to the 3 o'clock game, it is the Mountain West Championship, and it is Utah State taking on San Diego State. This, I believe, is at the Aztecs home stadium. They are 11-1. They do have a very good defense. This is a 3 o'clock start time Eastern, and I do have San Diego State winning this game 33-28. San Diego State, They impressed me against Boise State. Their defense is overwhelming. It is no joke. If San Diego State had a better offense, I said this in my video earlier, if San Diego State had a better offense, this is a top 10 team. Their defense is no joke. It's a complete no-fly zone. Or Utah State, good on offense, but traveling on the road. This is not a neutral site game. Not a neutral site game. Oregon State traveling on the road. Tough for them to score with that good offense. Give me San Diego State right around 6-point favorites. Not comfortable betting that line, but I do have San Diego State getting it done and getting their 12th win. And really capping off a nice season for them. Moving on to the Sun Belt Conference Championship, it is Appalachian State on an absolute tear recently. They're taking on Louisiana. I believe this is a neutral site game, if I am correct. 3:30 start time. You guys already know I'm going with Appalachian State. This is my team. I predicted it about a month and a half ago, right before Halloween. I said, listen, this team is going to finish the regular season 10-2. They were 5-2 at the time, and they're 10-2 right now, and they deserve to be ranked in the upcoming college football playoff rankings that are released on Tuesday. I'm tired of them getting disrespected. This is a very, very good football team, and they're going to take it to a Louisiana team that, quite frankly, can't pass the football. They cannot throw. They're going to really struggle, Louisiana. Give me Appalachian State, 35-24. This will not be a competitive football game. Appalachian State will easily cover the 3-point spread, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the big-time SEC matchup that kind of lost a little bit of luster with Alabama struggling against Auburn, but Alabama still is a one-loss team. They are taking on the number one team in the nation, Georgia. The Bulldogs, who are undefeated right now and have been the number one team since about week 3. This is a 4 o'clock game on CBS, and I do have Georgia handling Alabama 34-21. Bama last week should have lost to Auburn. Auburn's quarterback, the dude had like a broken ankle. They were still winning. It was crazy. Bama comes back, gets the win. Bryce Young, will he win the Heisman, guys? I don't know who's going to win the Heisman. The Heisman's a whole nother thing. But no, Bryce Young should not win the Heisman. And no, C.J. Stroud should not win the Heisman either. So I don't know who's going to win it. I know Bryce Young a little bit of a favorite right now over C.J. Stroud. Neither of them should win it. Neither of them played well enough on rivalry weekend. Bama should have lost that game. But they do get the win. And then, guys, I saw the spread in this game, 6.5 points favorite for Georgia. At some point, you just got to say Georgia's just significantly better than Alabama. They just are. They're just a significantly better football team. Alabama, not a lot of receiver depth without Williams, although he is coming back. He was ejected in the first half against Auburn for the targeting penalty. Georgia overall, their offense, it is what it is. They lean on their defense. It's not a terrible offense with Stetson Bennett, but you know, how good of an offense can you be when your quarterback is Stetson Bennett? He's basically the college football version of Alex Smith, and that's a good thing for Georgia, really. Just don't turn the ball over. You know, we'll get turnovers. The Georgia defense will generate turnovers. They'll give you short fields. You'll win the field position game, and that's how they've been playing all year. One quick thing to note, Georgia's schedule has been atrociously bad. It's just a quick thing I'm noting. I still think Georgia's the best team in college football. It's hard to bet against them, but their schedule's been horrific. It really has, if you guys go back and look at it, but I still have them winning this game and covering the 6.5 point spread easily. We've got another 4 o'clock game. It is Houston. This is the American Championship, so this game is in Cincinnati on Cincy's home field. It is Houston who's on an absolute tear, traveling to Cincy. Houston probably going to be ranked right around 22nd or 21st in the upcoming ranks. Cincinnati win, and they're in. Doesn't matter by the score. If they win this game, they are in the college football playoff as the first Group of 5 team to ever make the college football playoff, and I do have them getting that shot, winning this game 35-28. I think people are underrating Houston's offense a little bit in this game, but it's not going to matter. This Cincinnati team, we saw what they did last week on Black Friday. Completely no nonsense. Hammered East Carolina, a decent East Carolina team. You know, normally East Carolina is a bad football team. Cincy goes on the road to East Carolina and completely takes care of business of them, trounces them, doubles them in total yardage, and now it's right there for them. You throw away the style points with all of these teams losing. Cincinnati, if they win by 1 point or if they win by 50 points, they're in the college football playoff. All they have to do is win. And I've got them winning this game. They're focused right now. They're at home. They're around 12-point favorites when you look at the spread. I've got Houston keeping it a little bit closer, but Cincy does get the win there. And moving on to the night games, it's going to be the University of Michigan taking on Iowa. Did not expect either of these two teams to be in the Big Ten Championship game. I was preparing for Ohio State and Wisconsin. I have a Wisconsin friend, and we were texting before this past weekend talking about, the upcoming Ohio State-Wisconsin Conference Championship game. It's just, it's arrogant. We're arrogant people, and, it is what it is. This type of stuff happens, I guess. So it's going to be Michigan versus Iowa. I mean, I really don't know what to tell you guys. Honestly, I probably should change this to Michigan winning 27-13 because I think they cover the spread a little bit easier than that. But the thing is with Iowa, if you do not give Iowa short fields, how are they going to generate points? How do they generate 60 or 70-yard drives against an average offense, let alone against an average defense, let alone a defense as good as Michigan? Michigan runs the ball really well. I've said this is a no-nonsense football team. They're not going to beat themselves. Cade McNamara is not going to turn the football over. This is a very good matchup for Michigan. You're facing a similar team to where Iowa's good on defense. Iowa might have some success stopping the run against Michigan, but overall, these teams mirror each other, but Michigan's just better at everything than Iowa is. Iowa, I mean, listen, say what you want, they're in this game. It's like the same thing with Michigan, but it's like I think Wisconsin's better than Iowa, and I'm not going to get into the Ohio State-Michigan thing. Michigan 100% crushed Ohio State, but you look at something like the FPI. We'll just look at the FPI. Guys, Google ESPN FPI rankings. I'm just, whatever. We'll throw that out there. It is what it is. Michigan, great win against Ohio State. Absolutely crushed them. Look, Google FPI ranks. We'll have to see something about that. But again, good for both of these teams getting in there. I've got Michigan winning this game, breaking through, winning that Big Ten championship. And maybe, I think they'll cover the 10.5, so it might be 27-13. I'm just not exactly sure how Iowa generates any offense against a very good Michigan defense and really a Michigan team that doesn't beat themselves. Iowa wants you to beat yourself. They want you to fumble. They want you to turn the ball over. Michigan does none of those things. They may not be the most explosive team, but they will win this football game. They're a no-nonsense football team. They are going to be the Big Ten champions. And then the other game, very fun matchup here. It is going to be Pittsburgh and Wake Forest. Kenny Pickett, Heisman maybe? I would be completely fine with Kenny Pickett winning the Heisman or Kenneth Walker. Both of those players have significantly elevated their program past what we thought either Pittsburgh or Michigan State was going to be. I mean, where did we think Pittsburgh was going to be? They win this game, they're in a New Year's Six Bowl. They win this game, they're in a New Year's Six Bowl. And Wake Forest, to me, this is crazy. I just thought about this for a second. Pittsburgh and Wake Forest are two teams that they also mirror each other, kind of like Michigan and Iowa, but Pittsburgh is just better at everything than Wake Forest is. Both of them not great on defense, but Pitt still has a little bit better of a defense than Wake Forest. There's my final 49-38. I think Pitt pulls away late. Both of them really explosive on offense with quarterbacks nobody expected to put up with these numbers. Sam Hartman, nobody thought he was gonna do what he's been able to do. Kenny Pickett, nobody thought he was gonna be able to do it. Both of these teams also kind of mirror each other. Again, it's crazy how Iowa and Michigan mirror each other. Michigan's just better at everything than Iowa, and it's kind of like Pitt and Wake Forest mirror each other, but Pitt's just better at everything than Wake Forest. It's kind of interesting. So give me Pitt. They are 3-point favorites in this game. I like them to win this game, pull away late. Should be a very fun, high-scoring ACC championship. And then we do have a makeup game. No, this is not the Pac-12 championship. It is going to be USC taking on Cal. And I actually made this prediction, or I made this before Lincoln Riley got hired by USC, so I might change that. I do still think Cal is going to win, but it might be like 38-35. There's more life into that USC program. Lincoln Riley's going to recruit so well in California. It's going to be crazy to see that USC program come back to life, but this is an 11 o'clock start time. I don't know what network, maybe the Pac-12 network gets this game, a little exclusive right there, something like that. 11 o'clock makeup game. I don't know what they're making it up for. Maybe there were some fires or something. I'm not exactly sure why this game was postponed, but it has been postponed, and both of these teams trying to get an extra game, and I love the over in this one, over 57.5 personally. So give me Cal in a close one. I would say 38-35 if I updated my projection, because Lincoln Riley got hired. There's more excitement into that program, guys. Let's be honest about it. There's more excitement, higher scoring. Neither of these defense care. It's a postponed game. They're playing at 11 o'clock, whatever. So guys, that is going to do it for my conference championship predictions. After this next Saturday, we've got the selection show on Sunday where we find out who the 4 playoff teams are going to be, and then all of the bowl games after that on Sunday. You look at a team like Ohio State, the speculation right now, you're looking at maybe the Pinstripe Bowl. I'd be fine with that. That'd be a fun matchup, maybe with a team like Miami or something like that, or maybe the Outback Bowl. That would be a matchup with an SEC team. That would be a fun one too for a team like Ohio State. So we'll have to see. A lot of speculation going on there about the bowls. Maybe I'll do a video about the potential bowl matchups that we're seeing, because there is only 1 week left and there's not a lot of teams playing. Many teams sitting at home waiting to see what bowl they're in. We will see what happens with that. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you are following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.